Okay, this is lab 8-4, and we will be using a pivot table to analyze data from an XBRL database. So first we'll open up our Excel and go to data and get data from a Microsoft Access database. And then I have this downloaded. Or let me actually save this. Okay, I'm gonna save it to this PC. So it should be in here. Download. Okay, let me just save this really quick. I'm gonna just move this to the desktop. That should work. There we go. So we're gonna import. And then we are going to select multiple items, and we're gonna want entity and filing. And then we will press we're gonna use entity filing. It should be set to a default pivot table, and we'll click OK. So we're gonna load the data. I don't think we'll press transform. We'll click load to. And we want to load this to a pivot table report into an existing worksheet to A1. And then we will press OK. And this will take a second for the data to load. Okay, so our data is loaded, and we are once it does, we're going to place name in rows. You can find it. Name in rows. And create a slicer for filter category. Then we'll go to insert slicer. And then we will do this for filter category to filter for large accelerated files. Okay, so we can press OK. And then from here, we can then, filter from our slicer which ones we want to see. So if they're an accelerated filer, they will all come up here. If they're smaller, these are all the smaller ones, and so on and so forth. So then we're going to identify how many different iterations there are within one type of financial data element. So we're going to double click this table in the access to get a glimpse of different elements. So then we'll go to data. And then we're going to get data again from the database, and we're going to import the database we just did again. And then from there, we will select multiple, and we're going to do the aspect. Select multiple, aspect. And then we're going to do the same thing again, load to. And we will choose pivot table report. And we will do, I'm going to put this on a new worksheet. So we'll click OK. So now it says aspect. It will take a second. So then from there, we're going to place the name in the rows again. Oh, it's still loading. Okay, so we'll place name in the rows again. And then these are everything that are in the aspect table. And then to filter those names that contain cache, click the filter button next to row labels. So we'll go up here and we're gonna type in label values and contains, and then we'll type in cache. So anything that contains the word cache will come up. And then here now we have everything included in our table that includes the word cache. And then from there, there's so many that contain the word cache, so it's easy to navigate and look. So we're gonna refine the query to show only the tags that begin with the word cache. So to do so, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go back here, label filters, and we're gonna do begins with cache. And now our search is refined a little more to only include everything that begins with cache. So that helps us to see which aspects we could filter by their names. And then how would you further drill down into the first question about the large filters? You could just use other, filters to drill down. There's so many other filters you can use in here, like contains, ends with, does not begin with. So it's generally easy, I think, to filter in Excel. And do you think the number of outputs you got is reasonable? Yes. There's a lot in here. I feel like maybe these could be condensed a little more, but also it's good to see exactly what the cache was used for. So I think you could argue that. And then it says there's a huge numerous in the taxonomy one. So I'm going to try to find the taxonomy one, which is in, see if I can control. Where is the is it down here? But also here, so we created our one filter here, and then we did our aspect here. So this is everything with cache, and that's pretty much it for this lab for 8-4, using PivotTable to analyze the database.